Have you ever looked at your watercolor piece mid-painting and thought, wow, this is absolutely falling apart? Good news, that means you're doing it right. Today I'm walking you through my process as I paint this pair of socks, and I'm going to show you why you shouldn't quit, even when everything looks like it's melting on the page. So I start wet on wet. I wet the paper first, then drop in a mix of primary yellow and yellow ochre to map out the local color of the socks. And this is usually where beginners panic. Everything blooms, it spreads, it feels out of control. But this is exactly what I want. At this stage, everything has to stay watery. If I try to use thicker paint now, the surface would grab and the color would streak. Does this part ever make you panic? Because it used to make me panic every single time. I couldn't handle the lack of control. Now I'm making a mix of primary blue cyan and alizarin crimson. The result is a very soft gray mix. Now as I start layering the shadows, watch the paint. It gets slightly thicker. I reduce the water on purpose so that it doesn't run all over the page. And this is where many beginners get confused. They think wet on wet means the paint should stay watery forever. But no, as the paper dries, you adjust your paint. You follow the paper's moisture. And the good news, your paints on the palette are drying too. So while the paper gets less wet, your mixes naturally gets thicker right along with it. And right here at this stage is where most people want to quit. The socks look soft, blurry, undefined. You can't tell where one ends and the other begins. And this is what many people call it the ugly stage. And let me tell you, the problem isn't your ability. The problem is assuming it's supposed to look good already. But this stage is just the foundation. Here is something important. When there isn't enough contrast yet, the colors look darker and muddier than they actually are. Right now, you're still working with pretty fair, gentle colors. They just look heavy because nothing is defined yet. And once everything dries, the colors will lighten a touch anyway. So don't panic. This is all part of the process. And here you can see that after I carved out a shadow line between the socks and added some details, they looked more defined. This is the moment where the whole painting finally clicks. One confident shadow, a darker background, and suddenly the socks exist in real space. So remember, don't quit during the wet, blurry, what is this kind of stage. Watercolor gets better as it dries, and your paint gets more intentional as you go. Trust the process, trust the moisture, and seriously, don't quit on yourself. And if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. I'm happy to explain anything in more detail. Bye!